Hi, everyone. Hi, good afternoon to you. Good morning. If you're listening to this somewhere else and you're not in the United States, hello to you out there in the world. I want to come in here tonight, real quick here, and just kind of talk to you for a few minutes about, about building wealth. And pretty much my topic is how to make a difference in your community. And before I get started, I want you to know that I'm Sandy. I'm your business strategist, and I help you to start your business and grow your business, launch your business, make profit in your business, and I help you to get all of the structure set up that will allow you to build wealth and to kind of keep a steady flow of it going, put it that way. I help my clients to just come up with their strategies, and they call me Biz Strategist Sandy. That's who I am known for in this social media world here, and even my business clients. But I want to talk to you about how to make a difference in your community. And how to make a difference in your community is number one is how you're going to move and how you're going to build wealth in your community. So that's what I want to definitely talk talk about to you, talk about with you. So I am going to get that out of the way. I am going to begin here. But first I wanted to identify what a community what a community is. A community is, for most of us, is going to be a group of people in the same place or having a particular character in a common or kind of like common community, a common area. And so, most of our communities are kind of we're kind of segregated, and that's okay. But I definitely want you to kind of see the bigger picture, what I'm going to talk about here for a few minutes, and I won't keep you, I won't hold up much of your time. So if you could just bear with me and listen to what I have to say, I appreciate you. Now, most of our wealth and most of the things that we do are there, you know, we spend money with certain, businesses, and we spend money in certain areas. But I definitely want you to be conscious of where you spend your money, how you're building up your communities, how you're going to make a difference in your communities, because you have to start doing business. They have to give you good service, but you have to start doing business with people that will definitely have your best interests at heart, meaning give your money to people that are businesses that is going to put back in your communities. And I want to share with you um, the different races of people and how their money how their money is moving in their communities. Now, studies have been shown this to be true. This is not me talking. This is studies. This is studies that have been shown that what who's spending what and how they're spending it. And I'm going somewhere with this, but I want you to just grab this information before I elaborate any further. Okay, it says whites money bounces in their communities 8 to 12 times. Asians money bounces in their communities 13 to 14 times. Jewish money bounces in their Jewish communities 18 times. And guess what? African Americans, blacks, whatever you want to call yourselves, it doesn't bounce at all. We spend money in everybody else's communities but our own. And being business strategist Sandy and being the business coach, this is what I want to share with you. And I want to talk with you briefly about how you're going to make a difference in your community. Well, a lot of you are not destitute. You're not, you have wealth. You have wealth building opportunities, wealth building characteristics. You have wealth building genes, your genetics. You have wealth building um, ideas. Definitely don't leave that out. You can do anything you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it. But what I am finding out with dealing and working with people, clients, future clients, we just don't have the one, we don't have the beliefs in ourselves. Number two, we don't separate and take the time to do the things that we need to do to be able to make a difference, because we spend more time and a lot of our time entertaining more so than anything else. Just don't take my word for it. Listen at other people that know a little bit about business and know a little bit about building wealth. They'll tell you the same thing because they experience it themselves too with the different people and maybe that they want to work with or some things like that. But I want you guys to see the logic in doing this. It's not going to help us build wealth. It's not going to help us move and grow to the next level. It's not going to help. It's not going to help us do anything that's going to be so beneficial to our next just to be able to have wealth. And I think it's because that we're not seeing the bigger picture. You know, nobody deserves more than you. Anyone is, you know, feeling that way. If you are, it's just not what you need to be thinking about. You can build wealth. And I wish that you can see that for yourself, and I wish that you can start bouncing your money in your own communities and just look in your communities. Everyone else come and start business in your communities and give you the services that your people that that your people are that your people sorry about that that your people will benefit from. And how what I mean by that is just take a look at your communities. Again, everyone there is operating businesses and they won't give back to your causes. They come in and take your money and they take it into the pretty much the west side of town. That's where they're developing. That's pretty much the nicer areas in pretty much in any state in the USA. I think that's what yeah, that's the area where the wealth is being the nicer areas are in most cities, in most towns and in states. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you get the drift. You get what I'm talking about. There's liquor stores that's being set up in your neighborhoods. There are all kind of hair salon, beauty supply stores set up in your neighborhoods, and we just get treated. We accept the lousy customer service that we get. I see so many times on social media where people are going in, especially hair beauty supply stores, and for whatever reason, the store owner and the customer will get into a confrontation, and it is just physical fighting and crazy things like that. I mean, that is so crazy. There's no way I'm going to spend my hard earned money anywhere that I am not celebrated, I am not respected. I just don't spend my money like that. If you give me lousy service, I don't care if you are my same race. If you give me lousy service, I'll pretty much won't do business with you again, but I won't put you on blast either. I'll tell you. I won't, some people word of mouth, they go and talk about different things, but I won't do you that way. I'll address you because I want, number one, want to make you better. And number two, you may not even realize that it's an issue or a problem. So I will at least give you the benefit of the doubt of telling you, but I probably won't be back. Okay. But at least you'll have the opportunity to correct that. Now, and what I'm also seeing is another thing too in the black community. Yes, you think everybody ice is a little colder, but you know the saying. You know exactly where I'm coming from. Everyone ice is a little colder than your own. people in your own communities. And I believe that, I can remember growing up, the mom and pop stores were very plentiful. There was a plethora of them. They were every corner, everywhere you would go. I know five or six myself, just even thinking about them, even walking to school, going to school and getting candy and getting little things to have, throughout the day for school. And that was kind of like where everybody hung out right before they went to school in the morning time. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about because you probably have experienced that too in your own town. But also, what I do want to say here, hardware stores, equipment rentals, construction tools, it has become a dead end in my industry. Okay, yes, and you know what? A lot of I just don't understand. I don't know, Andrea. I really think that things like the businesses like these are definitely needed in our communities. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened years ago, maybe back in 2009 or 10, they started changing how, there were a lot of handymen doing construction and things like that, and they started getting tighter on the certifications. You had to get certified in construction or contracting in order for you to be able to build. Because at one time people were just building things and just building, building without any really without they had a skill, but they didn't have to. Then they probably could have gotten their license and prove that they can do whatever, and I guess use maybe use their what I'm trying to say, use their past references as a guide to show that they are credible for its business. But I don't know, black hardware stores. I don't know. That may be something that somebody needs to do because you know that's not a bad idea. Somebody may need to do one and then have an online presence so where some people can, if they need anything, they can order online. So that is, that's a possibility. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. So if anybody listening to this, if you know of anybody that's looking for, I mean, that has this particular service, Andrea said, hey, you're trying to give business to somebody that has one. So, but anyway, thanks for that, that input, that information. I appreciate you. But, another thing about making a difference in your community, African Americans spend $1.3 trillion in the world, right? We spend $1.3 trillion. Yet everything is a deficit. It's what I mean by that is it's a deficit in how much how much land we own, how many houses we own. We all, for the most part, most of us are renters, and I think that for somewhere I don't know where the disconnect came in thinking that okay, it's okay to rent, it's okay to have bad credit. I'm telling you, I have people that know want to come to me, but when I talk to them about, okay, this is the price for me to help you get your credit together, they either disappear. They don't think is of value. I don't understand. I don't know whether the dots doesn't connect, but it's time out for us to stop thinking that we are we don't have to pay for services, because that's another thing that is holding us back as a people as a whole. Not everybody. There are some people that will pay the price for education. Don't get me wrong. But we have a lot of people as a whole. And it is really, really, I do a lot of traveling, just kind of like locally and doing, different things sometimes, going different places with another business idea that I'm working on, and I see a lot of things and I see a lot of places. I see a lot of different mindsets. I see a lot of different communities that is just really pitiful and sad that how we're not consciously thinking about it and developing them even more. So I'm not going to bore you, anymore with this, but I definitely want you to be able to think how to make a difference in your community. Your community needs your help. It needs you to revitalize it. It need go sometimes go and listen, go and find out what's going on in your communities. Go to your local government website. If you go and find out what's going on with the commissioners, what's going on with plans of your area. People, we have to be conscious of how we spending our money. We have to get conscious about our finances. Do you know that most of the banks already know your credit score and your zip codes and what communities you're in? And actually, for the most part, and I'm realizing this, do you actually want and do you actually think that somebody is going to pick you up and make you have a better life, make you do things differently to help yourself? If it's going to benefit them to keep you down and suppress, that's what's going to happen. They're going to keep you down and suppress, and they're going to enjoy doing it. So I advise you not to be complacent and sit on the sidelines and learn how to make a difference in your community. I'm not saying charity, but it needs to start with building wealth, coming up with wealth building ideas. I'm talking this, and it's going to get it's getting serious out here, people. How to make a difference in your communities. I know we bust the church doors wide open, but before coronavirus, we were busting the doors open, and now we're busting the internet open. And my God, and the lives are not changing. People are not getting improving. We're stuck and complacent, and we're just sitting in that mindset of conformality. We're sitting in that mindset of undeveloped undeveloped potential and undeveloped growth, undeveloping your mindset. You know, my God, we've had enough of entertainment, guys, to last us for another century. Okay, so it's really time for us to decide on what you're here to do. Decide on if it's a business idea that you want to be able to launch and get it out there. Like I mentioned to you a couple of days ago, your idea is not crazy. You're not crazy. It's just that you have been programmed to think that something different is going to get you'll be very uncomfortable. Yes, you will. Because when you are expanded from your original shape, it feels different. It won't look the same. You won't be the same. You will be growing. So if you want to continue to grow, do something different. Have make a how to make a difference in your community. Your sons are getting your sons and daughters, mainly your sons, they're going to prison by the your nephews, sons, whatever, cousins, whatever it is. They're going to prison by the handful. Not saying they're not committing the crimes, but what is that stemming from? Do you not see that certain things won't change until we make a difference? And it's mostly driven by finances. Finances, that's right. It's driven by finances, meaning they're either robbing, stealing, killing for money. So teach them how to do the things the right way, instill values in these young men so where they can be better for our society and they can be the men that God will want them to be and God created them to be. Alrighty. So I this is all I want to say tonight. And I'll see you guys probably over the weekend, if not sooner, regarding how to just build wealth, how to generate, how to grow your business. It's time for us to do something different out here, okay? Alrighty, just make a difference in your community by feeling a need in your community, feeling a need. I don't care if you think there's already one there. You've got to push out of your community what's not good for it, okay? Push out of your community what's not good for it. How do you push out? You outbeat the competition. You be just like Michael Jordan. No one, not anyone, was he was going to allow to be better than him. He did everything he could and he succeeded with it because he showed the world that, hey, he's the one in charge. He's the one that's successful. He's the one that's going to outwork everybody. So get that mindset and get your communities and do something with them, meaning create businesses in your communities. Create the businesses in your communities that need to be created. And that's all I want to say. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.